Hey, I'm Alex and thank you for checking out the channel. In this channel what I do is I break down details in video games, maybe specific details, and I like to criticize bad decisions that game developers have made, and I love to praise their good decisions. So in this video I wanted to go through the portrayal of medics in World War I as done in Battlefield 1. Now some of you may know Battlefield 1 is my baby. I will always have nostalgia for the good times that I've had in that game. So with all that being said, what we want to do is we want to look at how Battlefield 1 portrays medics, and to see if there's any advice we can give to DICE, who's developing Battlefield 6, to see if there's any things we would tweak and things we might be able to bring back. So with that in mind, let's get into this video. So first things first, let's talk about the history of what our Joe Schmo infantryman knew about first aid. Well, not really that much. Like, this was still around the time where people would drink radium-laced water because they believed it to have miraculous health benefits. So schooling on first aid was not very common, and so your regular infantrymen carried very little in terms of items to address wounds. Each soldier had been issued with like a small waterproof baggie with about 2 pieces of dressing in it. What was interesting to me was that they carried these 2 because they needed one for the entry wound and one for the exit wound. As somebody who's seen a lot of ballistic gel tests and bullet wound expansion videos, I know that a lot of bad stuff happens between those 2 holes. And generally, being patched up was not done by the wounded soldier, but by one of your squad mates who was nearby. After that, they would leave you there and keep pushing the objective, and some more experienced medics with a stretcher would come by and fix you up a little bit more before carrying you off the field. I look at this little kit that the regular soldiers had and relate them to the standard IFAK or individual first aid kit of today. Thank goodness we have learned more about what the standard soldier should carry, so now a small first aid kit and tourniquets is about the minimum. Here in Battlefield 1, we see a mix or hybrid of these 2 kinds of medics. Yes, you do throw down some bandages and use your syringe to reanimate your teammates, but you do not pull them off the field and administer more intensive care in the game. In Battlefield 5, we were teased with the ability to drag your teammate to safety before reviving them, but that mechanic never actually came to be. According to my knowledge, a lot of the Battlefield community really wanted this feature as it added to the realism. Maybe that is something that they could add to Battlefield 6, who knows? And another thing I always wanted to know was what is in these syringes that can bring someone back from death's gate, while when you hit it with an enemy, you're basically overdosing them. And I found out that these actually had like morphine or sometimes cocaine in them. Alright, now that we know what some of the soldiers were issued in World War I want to talk about one British soldier in particular that saved many lives in World War I by being a solid medic. This army surgeon's name was Arthur Martin Leake, and according to multiple sources on Wikipedia, he rescued a large number of wounded soldiers in 1914 that were bleeding out right next to the enemy trenches. The enemies were laying heavy fire down in this area, and so it was really hard, but the fact that he was able to grab as many as he did and take them back to safety over and over again is what earned him the Victoria Cross for the 2nd time. This guy was a baller, and this kind of reminds me of the Desmond Doss story of, the movie that Hacksaw Ridge is about. Aside from the real-world role that World War I medics had, the role of a medic in Battlefield is one of the highest on the list. The medic is the only class that can affect the scoreboard in more than one way. The ability to reduce the score of your enemy by straight up bringing them back from the verge of death is probably the 2nd most important tactic other than PTFO. Because we all know PTFO or GTFO. I also wanted to end this video by talking about the opportunities that we have to learn a little more about first aid. Here in the next little bit, my company has the opportunity to attend a Stop the Bleed class. I am pretty excited about it as I have very minimal knowledge for treating trauma, other than practicing how to put a tourniquet on myself and applying pressure to a cut. This will be a good opportunity to learn how to help myself better, but also be a better and more prepared citizen. Although we haven't taken the class yet, I recommend everybody look into that. Thank you for watching, and if you thought this video was interesting and if you want to go on this journey with me of breaking down the details of video games, subscribe. I will bring these videos to you about once a week, sometimes two. And if you liked this video, hit the like button, as that helps YouTube promote my videos. And last thing I want to say is my recent video, let's see, right here. My recent video of 5 weapon optics in video games was really fun to make, and it's actually very informative. Well, I'll put links up right there and maybe in the description below. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.